Hi, it's time for the fourth episode of Punchlines, Plots, and Procrastination. I'm your host, Yvonne. Today we're discussing what it takes to be a successful voice talent. Have you ever wondered whose voice that was on the radio or TV, or that quirky commercial that made you laugh out loud? It might have been today's special guest who will help us dive deep into the sound booth. He's one of the most versatile voice actors in the business, a radio and TV veteran. He's made his career out of becoming anyone with just his voice. He's the owner and president at The Right Creative. Please help me welcome my longtime friend and very successful voice actor, originally from Oakridge, Tennessee, honey.
Hurt near.
Boner. Leaving that in.
You have to.
It's Kurt Boomer Schenk, and that's okay. How you doing, Kurt?
I'm doing great, Vonnie. It's so good to see you and talk to you. And we're already laughing.
I
So,
know, right? Oh, that's good. Well, I am very excited to talk with you today because I haven't seen you in so long, and we're dear friends because we used to do a radio show that you produced, right?
yep.
And
I
I
was
was
the
the
producer. Yep.
co-host. Yeah, and
Mhm.
that's how I met him back in 1997. But you've had your hand in this business for decades, voice talent. You were announcer for the Rochester Red Wings, the Rochester Rattlers, the Rochester Rhinos, and because I'm not a sports person, I have no idea who any of those people are, but I'm sure a lot of
Yeah.
people do. Um,
Yeah.
you've been on the air as a jock, a production director, and on-air
Yep.
talent for WMAX, WVOR, WHAM, and the Lincoln Group. So voice acting, I think, is really not talked about that much. I mean, you don't see a little 9-year-old and say, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" And he's like, "I want to be a voice actor." So how did you get into the business? What drew you to it?
Well, when I was growing up, I wanted to be in radio. I really did. I wanted to be a sports announcer. That was my goal. So I was one of the geeky kids. A lot of guys my age, around 31, this is what I am, at 30 years, would literally watch a baseball game and hit record on a tape recorder and call the game and then listen back and critique yourself, which is
Oh,
so incredibly nerdy. But I know a lot of guys who've done that when they were
yeah.
kids. So
Yeah. Well,
when
that's the same as kids that want to be actors do like plays in the backyard. My kids used to do plays all
Sure,
the time. So
yeah,
that
yeah.
makes perfect sense. Yeah, go ahead.
And that's why they call it voice acting because it is acting.
Yeah.
And I was never really trained as an actor. And so it wasn't when I went to St. John Fisher, now University,
Hmm.
um, and to get a communications degree. And I really was focusing on being a journalist,
Oh,
not
really?
radio. Yeah, like my focus switched. I started liking to write. And that actually started in high school. I was already a paid reporter for the local Penfield Post covering Penfield High sports. I was getting $10 an article with pictures. So it was something I started really liking to do.
Yeah.
And then my first semester was a disaster. I was on academic probation. I acclimated to partying constantly with all of my friends and not doing the work. So my dad called me into his office at home
Yeah.
and he said, "You need to join a club."
You need to join a club.
Yeah, he's like, "You got to get your mind off of that stuff. Join a club, become involved in school." So
Oh,
I joined the radio club. Boom, that was it.
perfect.
I
Yeah.
had the bug. First time I open up a mic, I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. So I got a an internship my junior year at WVOR in Rochester, New York, and then my final semester that January, they offered me a full-time job upon
Wow.
graduation, but I had to work part-time doing the morning show at WHAM.
So
So
like that
those
was
are,
your first job in the industry, right?
yeah.
Very first
So
job.
like
Pretty
the
cool.
real job, internship. I was running the board on weekends because there was no automation yet. So you really needed persons to push buttons and make the tapes roll and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
I was getting paid on weekends, which was nice. Um, so my being on the air, my first experience was doing impersonations. they wouldn't allow a young person on the air right away. You had to, for some reason, it was a strange concept, be fired from at least 10 radio stations till they put you on the air because that showed experience.
Oh,
So
yeah, I hear you.
that's where the voices came in. So I started doing voices and impersonations. Like Eddie Murphy, I think was like one of the first ones I did. And Ronald Reagan was another one.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, so it's me, Ronnie, and it evolved to shadowing a mentor of mine, Dave Roberts, who was an actor converted into a radio production director, and I shadowed him and learned a lot from him. And then he got to be too expensive for the company, so they said, "Hey, let's put the kid in who makes $20,000 a year and have him do production."
Yeah.
And that's how that happened. And then it just evolved from there. So being in radio got me into the voiceover business, basically.
I hear you. I hear you. What do you think makes you different than other voice wannabes?
I don't have the deep, ballsy voice that a lot of announcers do.
Yeah,
I can fake that sometimes after
sure.
a night of bourbon and cigars. But I have a lot of range. And that's what makes me very different. I'm not just stuck in one speed or style. I can
Yeah.
do screaming ads. I can do just talk to you ads. Um, and it is truly voice acting. I've been in this business now. Well, my own business, The Right Creative, has been 21 years. So I've been in the voiceover business for 30,
Yeah.
30
Because it
plus.
was 30
Yeah.
plus when I met you. That was like almost 30 years ago.
Yeah. So
97. I don't know. I can't do math,
yeah,
but
97. So yeah, I was there at Wham VOR and I was
yeah.
in production.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was
Right.
voicing things by then and
Yeah.
and having voice talents come into my studio for the scripts I wrote and just
Sure.
watching them perform and learning from them was so
So
invaluable.
So it seems like in the very beginning, you were surrounded by people that helped you in the way of you were alert. So you paid attention and you learned from everybody
Yes.
you came across. And I think that's really important in any kind of venture to pay attention to those that are there before you and,
Right.
and learn from them. When you're doing something, I would imagine people hire you and they have a certain idea of what they want.
Hmm.
Do you do you ever like ad lib or do you put more into the character than what they're looking for and have them go, wow, we didn't even think of that. That's great. I mean,
Yeah, yes. Depending on if they wrote it, I will do that
yeah,
because I'll look at it and I'm like, okay. So I'll give them a couple of takes. It
yeah.
may say
And
it
like,
may
what's
be
the process?
upbeat and inspiring. It's like, what the hell does that mean? I mean,
Yeah,
honestly. So
yeah,
I'll give something that's more upbeat. It's more upbeat boomer. And then I'll give something to pull back a little bit. It's like, hey, let me talk to you about this product.
yeah.
It's the Dunkin' Frappa Primo. So, and boy, does it taste delicious, and do that kind of read and just send them multiple reads.
Yeah. So really, it totally is an acting job.
Yes.
You have to have that inside of you. I could never be an actor. My daughter told me that point blank. She said, how you feel is written all over your face. And even if you're
Mm.
saying something else, I know exactly what you're thinking because you don't know how to act.
Right.
And she's right. I was in one play my whole life. I had one
Just
line
honest.
and
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the line.
Yeah. There's all that. My son is a very accomplished local actor.
Is
He's
he really?
he's amazing. He does what your daughter says. I mean, he
He
becomes
becomes.
this other person
Yeah.
who's not my son anymore.
Yeah.
And in fact, he's got
Yeah.
another show coming up this Saturday.
Yeah.
Um, and he did go to school to learn that.
Oh, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I through radio, um, part of that acting skill, I did radio because I was afraid to get in front of a camera, right? So you got a
I
microphone and
hear
you're
you.
still talking to a lot of people, but you don't have to look them in the face, but
Yeah.
you have to, make your face move for whatever emotion you want to convey.
Sure,
So you
sure.
start to learn how to act. And, sure enough, some agent thought I was cute, picked me up as a model, and then I started doing camera work and doing a lot of it. And I was
Wow.
just comfortable that after doing radio for so long, I was just really comfortable
Yeah.
on doing industrial movies,
Hmm.
commercials, stuff like that.
Her name wasn't Barbara Dell, was it?
It sure was Barbara Dell.
She did that. She picked me up for some commercials too.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I walked into a studio one day and there's Barbara, all glamorous as she always
I
was.
know. She
And
was
she
beautiful.
looks me up, she looks me down, she looks me up, she looks me down. What's your name? It's Kurt Schenk. She goes, call me tomorrow. Here's my card. That was it.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I want to hear some of your voices, and I know that you do one of my favorite interviewers, Larry King.
Yes, Larry. Hi, this is Larry King. I'm here doing overnights. No, I have a bow tie and suspenders. I met Larry once, actually,
Did you
at
really?
WHAM. He was a very nice guy.
I'm glad to hear that because I like him. Sometimes you hear about people and
Oh
you think,
yeah, he was great. He was a
I
super
know.
guy, and
Yeah.
we talked baseball. That's what I
He did?
remember. Yeah, we talked
Okay.
baseball.
Give me some of your other characters. Like I know you do Elvis, which
Like
every
it. Well, there's Elvis. There's the king behind me with a peanut butter and banana sandwich. Uh,
got a peanut butter and banana sandwich.
there's a guy who lives near you, Syracuse kid. His name is Tom Kenny. He is SpongeBob, Patrick, Gary, SpongeBob, and Patrick sounds like, oh, SpongeBob, what are you doing? Don't do that, SpongeBob. And then Gary's my pet snail. That's Gary.
Oh,
Um, you know,
you
Homer
do you do
Simpson. You get Homer and Marge, his wife, and it's all
truck
these
driver.
voices
Truck
are in
driver.
my
Do
head.
do the truck driver do.
Oh yeah, I'm a truck driver.
And a
Come on,
southern.
where are you going? Come on with me. I got
Mhm.
my tobacco.
All right, now you're from the South, so I want to hear a good Southern impression.
Well, y'all got you know where I'm from, Oakridge, Tennessee. You got long vowels, so roses are raises. A lot of that's going on. I have spent a lot of time in South Carolina over my lifetime, and
Yeah.
man, life is slow down there.
Well, I spent a lot of time in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and that's not
Oh,
too far from Oakridge. So you did that spot on, my friend.
yeah, it's Oak Ridge has its own dialect.
Yeah,
The people who were raised
yeah,
there, it's
yeah.
not just like everybody else in Tennessee.
That's
It
right.
is long vowels.
Yeah.
So,
Now, because I'm a full-blooded Italian girl, do you do anything in the Italian?
hey, how you doing?
How
What's
you
going
doing?
on, Minga? How you doing? I could be Tony Soprano too, if you. I could be the mob guy.
Oh, wow.
Hey, yeah. You ever
Yeah.
seen the back of a car called a trunk?
Oh God, I miss you.
I did buy a Cadillac like 10 years ago, used Cadillac.
You did?
Yeah. So I'm talking to the guy like that, the sales guy.
No.
Yeah. And I'm like, hey, how many bodies can you put in the trunk of this thing? And the sales guy was right there. It's like, four of you, cut them up. And I bought the car right there.
Oh, that's hysterical.
Yeah. He was right there with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because you have to do all these different voices, now I know as a speaker, if I have to, when I go somewhere, I speak for an hour, then I got to talk to people for another 2 hours,
Mhm.
and so my voice kind of sometimes gets strained, and I do
Yeah.
certain things to keep my voice healthy. Do you get into that at all?
Tea when I need it.
Tea?
It's called throat coat.
Oh yeah, throat coat
It's a voiceover artist. Um, uh,
medicine. Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
also this
What's that? Vocal
called
ease?
vocal ease.
Oh, that I've never
If you're
seen.
having a rough time with your voice, it's
Vocal ease. You get it
it's
at
got
the
a
grocery
little
store?
it's Amazon. Find it on
Amazon.
Amazon.
Will be.
A lot of singers use it, and
Vocal.
if my voice is off, I'll
Yeah.
just a little bit of that, and I can.
That's
Like
good to
through
know.
whatever I got to
That's
read.
good to
Yeah.
know. I
That's about
drink,
it. Yeah.
occasionally I'll drink coconut water. For some reason
Oh,
that coats my vocal cords pretty well and works well.
stay hydrated.
Stay hydrated, absolutely.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, I'm addicted to coffee. Mm-mm-mm. Good coffee. So I do have to drink a lot of water to counteract that. But anyway,
Yep. Yep.
what's
Yep.
the typical recording day for you? How do,
I'm usually in studio by 8 a.m.
yeah.
Before that, I'm up and about writing. If I have any writing to do, which is getting less and less thanks
Mhm.
to AI. Um, but I'll write and watch the news and drink my coffee.
Yeah.
And then I have other voice talents that work for me,
That's good.
writecreative.net.
Okay.
Um, so I don't voice everything
Yeah.
because, albeit I do have a lot of range,
Mhm.
but there are certain voices that
That other
I
people can do.
they just have a
Yep.
different delivery that
Yeah.
I can use. So
Right.
I have a
Right.
stable of males and females. Most of them I've worked with in the industry, and they're just it's just beer money for them.
Yeah.
They're not going to make a living off of what we do.
When I lived
Uh,
in Rochester, I was the voice of AAA National.
wow,
So like
that's
when you call
cool.
AAA and it says
Yeah,
press one for blah blah blah, that was
yeah.
me. And then I was asked to speak at one of their conferences, and the CEO of AAA introduced me. I didn't know who he was. He didn't say who he was. I had never met him. And when he went to leave, instead of standing at the podium and waiting for me, he kind of would cross past me, and I
Mhm.
accidentally knocked him off the stage. And
Wow.
everybody in the audience went, "Oh!" And I went to the podium and said, "Well, looks like he fell for me."
I should have had my sound effects racked
You
up for
should
this.
have. I
Oh
expected it.
well.
Speaking
Yeah.
of AI, because you just mentioned AI, how does that affect your business, or does it? Is it help? Is it hurt?
It's hurt the writing angle of it. Um,
In what way?
I work primarily with small to medium market radio groups,
Okay.
so I'm very niche that way. I get other jobs that are truly voice acting jobs, but I'm very focused on radio and TV groups in markets that want to outsource writing and voiceovers, but have limited budgets. So we do bulk here. We do as many ads as possible. Um, Part of that was writing because the account reps at these TV stations and radio stations usually don't write well. I mean, they can sell,
Yeah,
but marketing and creativity is something they're
that's
just
right.
not. It's
That's
just not their skill set.
that's
There are
not.
very few that can write. So that's how I started the business, Write, WRITE creative, because writing was really, really in demand.
Mhm.
Now they don't care, unfortunately.
They
Um,
don't.
the chat GBT is probably doing, it's probably taken 30 to 40% of my writing business from me.
Wow.
It's been incredible. And the voiceover stuff is fine. Voiceover voices still, they're just not good.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, but the problem is a lot of times I'll correct it. I'll email back the rep is like, your client name is only said once in this ad, and it's not 30 seconds, it's 42. Do you want me to rewrite it? So I
Oh,
wind up rewriting a lot of this AI stuff that's
yeah.
just not, and it doesn't write campaigns. It doesn't, it, which I do. I think two commercials
Mm.
down the road, not just the one I wrote today. It's going to
You're
lead
thinking of,
into
yeah.
what's coming up,
What's
whether
next?
it's seasonal, could be seasonal. I'll do one for, spring, summer, fall, holidays, that,
Mhm.
and just come up with a slogan and a positioning statement that, really describes and summarizes what they do, whether it's a car dealership or a home cleaner. I mean, whatever service it is,
Mhm.
try to find an identity for them and write slogans. Um,
Sure.
what I see with AI, it will sometimes generate a really clever angle,
Hmm.
but
But
it doesn't really know how to write an ad. It just, it'll
yeah.
come up with something very clever, but it doesn't.
Also, too, I think because you're local, you know the local end of it. So you can add things to this that the people listening can relate to.
Right. And whether I'm local or not, because most of my business is out of town, believe it or
Oh, it
not.
is. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's so anywhere from Lassen and Plumas County in Northern California to
Oh, okay.
Bangor, Maine to
That's great. Okay, I didn't realize.
somewhere in Texas. But what I do is I research the town. God bless you, Google.
Yeah,
So I'll learn what the major roads are. I'll learn what parks they have. So whether
yeah.
you're going to um, Redmond Park in Oregon, it's a park,
Sure.
or going out into the valley, and I use just basic Googling and YouTube. I use YouTube a lot to glean ideas from people. It's like, hey, today we're in um, Taylorville, Illinois, and here's a tour of Taylorville. And it's like, okay, I know the town now.
Yeah.
So
I
that's
think
what AI doesn't do.
the AI cannot do. That's
Right.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you do put a personal touch on everything.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what makes you different, I think.
Yeah. That's why I'm still in business.
That's why you're
Yeah.
still in business. Do you have any funny bloopers that like the one I did when I introduced you?
I had a client and he was retiring,
Yeah.
and he said, "Hey, Kurt Schenk is here. He's done production for WBTA in Batavia. Still do work for them." And he's like, "I just want to give you an idea of what the guy is like when he's in studio." And he strung together and edited all of my cuss words into a minute long. Oh yeah. Oh my God.
Oh
Oh,
no.
oh my God. Because, I get frustrated and I would just
Sure.
curse. I would just send him the track and let them edit it out. No, he kept all the swear
He
words.
kept them all.
Yeah.
What did you say? You must have
I,
died laughing.
everybody was laughing. Everybody thought it
I
was the funniest
imagine.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
hysterical.
So, but nothing really, I've really not screwed up on the air. Most recently, I was working at WBEE, WCMF, which was uh, one of my great accomplishments. It's a station I grew up listening to, and now I'm on the air at it.
That's
Um,
great.
they brought me back on part-time basis, just fill in and do afternoon drive and a Saturday show, and I really enjoyed it. It was just really good to be back on the air. But then, um, the story of me and my wife, that came full circle, and it was like, well, I can't do this anymore, so I had to leave it.
Oh,
So,
oh.
but
But you had that experience.
I had the experience, and I'm
Yeah.
blessed
Yeah.
to be able
Now
to do
you were
that.
the adjunct professor at SUNY Brockport for 15 years, right?
Yeah, off and on. Yep,
Now,
long
what
time.
advice would you give to somebody that's trying to break into this business? It's a field that I wouldn't know where to go if I wanted to start again. I don't think I would.
It's such a different business from when I started.
Okay.
Um, the main reason is technology.
I would
Like
imagine.
this microphone right here sounds really good, and it's
Yes,
a $20 headset.
really.
Yeah, so
Sounds great.
it's got great dynamics. It's got it's got a screen and all that stuff. So what's changed from when I started and thought about MP3s, and now I could email commercials to people. It's just everybody's got a really good computer, a really good mic. Podcasting has changed the landscape of voiceovers.
Yeah.
So technically, I mean, my first studio I built in my home was $10,000. I mean, it was crazy.
Wow.
Now it's a couple of laptops. I have a really, really good microphone up there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's an RE20. That's a $500 microphone, but that's industry standard.
Is it?
Yeah. So technically anybody can do something at their kitchen table.
Yeah.
And it's also because of Fiverr and podcasting, people are able to reach more people with their voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's beyond just a demo now. And there's so many really good talents out there that
Mhm.
it's such a crowded field. It's so crowded.
Well, if someone came to you and said, um, I've got some funny voices, I want to be a voice talent, what kind of thing would you like interview? How do you interview a voice talent?
You tell the voice talent, if they're an aspiring voice talent, you
Yeah.
don't discourage them, first of all.
Thank you.
Uh, go for it. You need a demo.
So they have to make a demo tape, although we don't do tapes anymore, right? So
No, so
a
it's an
demo,
MP3. So you email your demo
yeah.
to an audition or whatever it is to get your
Okay.
foot in the door, get a
Mhm.
nice headshot. You do all the same stuff we were doing with Barbara Dell.
Okay.
You still do that.
And then
But
you send it electronically to the person you're trying to get a job.
yeah, and you
Okay.
send that. Yeah, you can put your voice on voices.com. I don't know what it costs anymore. I never did that because people were like, why aren't you on voices.com? Because
Oh,
I would say, well, 90% of the talent on there is better than me. you know, so I'm not going to do that. Um, so you can even build a simple website and put your voice samples
sure.
there. I
That's a
would
great
say
idea.
start a Facebook page and put your voice sample up there.
So
You know,
basically get your voice out
yep,
where
yep.
people can
And
hear it.
tell people you do
Yeah.
voiceover work and
No,
hit LinkedIn, Instagram,
yeah.
TikTok
Need it.
for someone starting because TikTok is more relevant than Facebook is for
Yeah. All
younger
right.
audience.
Well, we don't have an awful lot of time left, but are there any misconceptions that people have about doing voice acting, you think?
Yeah, I think, for males, you have to, sound like the deep voice guy. And
Not,
that's not true. Just be different.
yeah.
Don't be wacky.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Be yourself and act. Learn how to act. When you're in front of a mic, move your hands.
Yeah.
Do all of that stuff.
Yeah. So,
For females, you don't have to be the sultry, silky voice woman. Just again, what do you sound like? What is your strength? What are you really good at? So when you put your demo together, maybe find somebody in the industry that you know,
mhm.
or reach out and say, hey, would you listen to my demo? And they'll tell you, look, I know in the first 20 seconds if I'm going to hire somebody. I can tell you that right now. So you got to put your best read up front.
Oh, that's interesting. I have another question for you. When you're like at parties or with family or whatever, does anybody ever say, do your such and such a voice?
Occasionally, not as much as I used to, because I think they're just sort of sick of me now. So they're waiting for me to cook.
Yeah.
So
And they're waiting for you
yeah.
to cook. Oh, you're a really good cook now.
Oh yeah. Oh, I cook every night. Yeah.
That's great.
My dear
I'm,
wife loves that.
I'm
Yeah.
sure she does. I'm sure she does. By the way, please say hello to Annette for me.
I will. I
If you
will.
were not a voice actor, Kurt, what do you think you'd be doing with your life?
That's a really, really good question. I think one of my favorite jobs was a security guard.
Really?
Yeah. I
Wow,
was
that's
a
cool.
I worked for Doyle for a couple of years, which got me a job for the Monroe County Parks, which I really, really liked. And
No
people,
kidding.
it was like, you should write a book about your experiences. Oh yeah, the axe murderer event,
Oh, oh, oh,
the
we gotta have,
cop getting thrown onto the ground. Yeah, I
geez,
mean,
all those things.
talking five dudes out of burning down a lodge, literally. Yeah.
Wow,
So
you could write a book about those
yeah,
experiences.
it was a great
It's
job.
something
I hated leaving it
I
but
can
it was radio. It's like, okay,
I've
that's
known
not
you
radio.
all this time and I never knew that about you. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
good times.
You got a
I
man.
guess I would still be doing that, honestly, to tell you the truth.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think I would be afraid of you, Kurt, if I was out somewhere. I just don't
My,
think so. You're
my
such a,
mother was Puerto Rican and always taught me, don't fight, talk your way out of
well,
situations.
she's a smart woman.
She was a smart woman. So that's how I just would talk. I told the guys, it's like, guys, what are you doing? Who's gonna burn this down? It's like, look, look, look. If you burn that down, I get in big trouble.
Yeah.
Please put it out. Come back at 12:30 this morning. Burn it down then while I'm not here.
Not on my watch.
Pretty much. So they put the fire out. They never came back.
Oh, you're funny. Well, I hate to leave you because I've had
Yeah,
some
likewise.
fun,
Yeah.
but I do want to talk 2 minutes about next week. It's going to
Yep.
be all about books, which is the whole purpose of this podcast, really. So if you've ever stayed up until 3 o'clock in the morning because you just couldn't put a book down, then this is the episode for you. Episode 5 of Punchlines, Plots, and Procrastination. I will be joined by Jackie Owens. She is the communications librarian at Baldwin's Public Library and an avid book lover like myself. And we're going to look at books that we devoured in 24 hours. Why were they good? Was it the plot? Was it the characters? Was it the way the story is told and all that? So don't miss episode 5, books we could not put down. And we're going to talk about a few that we threw away because they were no good. So please be sure and hit that like button and that big black subscribe button and leave us a comment or leave us a question about what what we talked about or something that you want us to talk about in the future on our next punchlines, plots, and procrastination episodes. This is Yvonne Conti, inspiring joy, sharing truth, changing lives, thanking my good friend Kurt. Make it a joy-filled, beautiful day. We'll talk to you later.